Please listen to the following announcements before I get into the message associated with the backdrop you see behind me. Brokers. The NAR has developed a new program called Broker's Edge. It's an education series designed exclusively for brokers. The first Broker's Edge program is September 30th, entitled Modern Leadership. Those attending will learn to be influential leaders in modern times. The second Broker's Edge program is October 27th, entitled Today's Broker in a Virtual World. In this program, brokers will receive information on how to best prepare their company for the future. Now, I know you're all very busy and probably pretty well acquainted with both subjects. However, before you decide to pass on attending, let me share a quote from Coach John Wooten I have found helpful in my life. It's what you learn after you know it all that counts. You will find a link to these classes on our website. There is a cost of $30 per class. Speaking of classes, the following are coming up. Roundtable this Friday, free CRS webinars and classes, continuing education, and home inspections. All the information on these classes is on our website, gpbr.com. Additionally, don't forget to support Harper, our fourth Guardian Angel Medical Service dog, named for the city of Harper Woods. We need to raise $11,000 to save a life. You also will be receiving a call from a member of our Fair Housing Committee about our All In for Diversity program. Please welcome their call. Give us the ballot or sew on your own buttons. As I looked for a backdrop for today's video, there were several that caught my attention, but this one made me laugh. Another that I considered using was one showing the official offices of the Organization Against Women's Suffrage. It was a picture of men in front of the headquarters sign with their backs to the camera. I guess while they may not have wanted to give women the right to vote, they were not stupid enough to have their pictures taken so their wives could see them. It's hard to imagine that 100 years ago, women could not vote. And while today that would seem to be a no-brainer, it took 70 years after the founding of this country for that right to be granted. 2020 commemorates the passage of the 19th Amendment, which gave women the right to vote. And for those of you who are interested, there will be a parade on October 11th, sponsored by the American Association of University Women in Grosse Pointe and Harper Woods, to acknowledge this historic event. The history of voting in this country is not a good one. I don't mean because of turnout, which always seems lower to me than it should. I mean because of who is eligible to vote. By the way, eligibility was determined by the definition of the word citizen, which initially was very restrictive. For example, in 10 of the 13 original states, you had to own real property, be at least 21, male, meet religious requirements, and be white to be considered a citizen of the U.S. at the time it declared its independence. 80 years later, the property and religious requirements were eliminated. After the Civil War, black men were declared citizens with the passage of the 15th Amendment. Citizenship, and with it the right to vote, was extended to women in 1920, Native Americans in 1924, and those of Chinese descent in 1943. This year, November 3rd, is Election Day. As that day approaches, ask yourself, would you have been qualified to vote in 1776? I know I would not have been. The house is in my wife's name, so I would not have been a property owner. Whether or not you would have qualified then, you do today. So please do so. That's it for this week. As always, be productive, successful, and profitable, and be safe. Goodbye.